Okay, if your job is a pure BA job, you'll probably never be given access to Siebel tools. But 5 out of 10 times, 6 out of 10 times, you will be required to look at Siebel. You will be given the access to Siebel tools, but you should be like looking at it, you should be referring to it, so that you can look at the object definitions or the development world of Siebel. You can look at the definitions. So this is really important for you to know the definitions, how to look at the definitions, and how the definitions are in the development environment of Siebel, or in the development world of Siebel. 2 out of 10, you will be asked to do certain work. One of our consultants is facing that issue. He has to do some technical work, and this is very important at that point. 2 out of 10, they will not even give you the access to that. They will say, don't install Siebel tools on your laptop. So you won't be having. And I know one company, BCBS, they just don't let you install Siebel tools if you don't need them, because there are licenses for that, and they say, okay, don't install it. Okay, so important thing is in module 14 you will learn how these applets, these views, these screens in Siebel, how the definitions look like behind the scenes. When you say behind the scenes in the code, or how the code is written, or how the object definitions are written, what are the various properties, how to look at the properties, and so on and so forth. This is what we are going to learn in chapter 14. Okay. We all know that there are 3 layers in Siebel, right? Main 3 layers. Can you tell me what are those 3 layers, Priya? This is the diagram that I'm always talking about, right? We did that diagram, right, John? Do you remember that? See, in this diagram, we have this on the top. We have this screen view, applet, and control, and in the middle layer we have business object, business component, and field. Then you have table and column. Then, well, this just ignore this one for the time. These are the 3 things which are in Siebel. Is it right? Mm-hmm. When you install Siebel, when you just install Siebel, Siebel tools, these definitions were installed too. These definitions were basically created over there. And when you install Siebel client, these are the things, these are the definitions that were used, right? Okay, so these are the 3 layers. We call it business object layer, user interface layer, and data object layer, right? Business object layer has the business logic in it. That is a new thing. We all understand what this is. We all understand what is data object, but we kind of do not know what this is. Is it right? Then we all explain. Then I explain to them, what is basically meaning of business object. That's where all the tables, they get logically connected back again from a user perspective. In presentation layer, or this layer, or the top layer, user interface layer, it just presents it, right? So this was the thing that we learned. Now we will see. So these are the various objects. If you see, these are the various objects: screen, view, applet, control, business object, business component, field, table, column. These are all controls. Is it right? Sorry, I'm sorry. These are all objects. We will see the definitions of these objects, and we will see how to manipulate the properties of these. Actually, basic configuration can be done by just manipulating the properties of that. And it is a very simple skill you guys will acquire in a few minutes. It's a very simple skill. Okay. There are some complex things also, like MVG applets, like pick applets, like writing e-scripts, writing workflows, and so on and so forth, which is not very complicated for you, I know, but those can be covered too. In this chapter we'll not do that. We just want to make sure in this section is only about looking at it. So we'll just try to do whatever this chapter says. Okay, we'll just try to look at the definition. We'll get familiar with that. You probably might go, if you're a developer, you can go ahead and do a little bit more, not help you out. Okay, but after this, probably you'll be good in development, thinking in terms of the objects in Siebel. Okay, so again, these are the various objects in Siebel, and you will be understanding how to look at their definitions, and how to observe, how to find out various data elements, how to find out what are the various properties of these objects. Okay, so these are the object definitions. Here's again categorize the object definitions into three this thing: user interface related definitions, business logic related definitions, data storage related definitions. Data storage related definitions will have what kind of definitions? Definitions of what? Tables and columns. Perfect. Business logic definitions, what will those be having?
The fields, business object, a business component.
Perfect. And what do you expect, John?
Yeah.
What do you expect in user interface definitions? What kind of definitions would those be? What are the various components of user interface? Yeah, I expect to see screens, views,
Yeah.
applets, and various controls, right? Let's cover even the basics of SQL GUI's basics, okay? Right? These are various screens. These are all various screens, clinical programs, protocols, site management, institutions, site personnel, subject. These are various screens. And this whole thing that is open is one application. This application is nothing but it's composed of various screens, right? Right? And all these various screens, they consist of these views on the left hand side, payments and activities. In SQL 7, the views are laid out in a form of a tag somewhere in the middle here. Somewhere in the middle. That is a SQL 7 GUI though. I'm showing you SQL 6 GUI because it's simpler, it's faster. It's not buggy. SQL 7 will not start if I start it now. It will give me problems, so that's why while teaching I use SQL 6. But you guys should remember,
What's the
95, there are a lot, and that's a very good technical question. We'll definitely cover it someday when you guys have gotten into. One of the differences is GUI.
Is that going?
One of the differences is GUI.
Yeah.
Second difference is that it is an Internet Explorer based application. SQL 7, that is.
Yeah.
SQL 6 is not.
Yeah.
Okay. Third difference is very important difference is it has some special tables. Okay. It has some different schema. So next chapter 15 will address one of those tables, the main table. We'll get into that. Okay. Good question though. All the screens are made up of views, and all the views, every view is made up of applets. Is it right, Hafiz?
Yeah.
Is right? And every applet like this is a list applet. It consists of various columns, right? We call it controls, right? In SQL we call it controls. And similarly, this is a form applet, and it consists of various controls too. All the fields basically in your usual world are called as controls. Okay? So field is a technical word. It is reserved for something special and different. Okay? At the same time, I did make a little disclaimer. But you will be talking to users, and they will not be talking in terms of SQL. They might start calling it field. They will be calling it field. They will never be calling it control. But whenever you're talking to technical people, you should say control. When you're talking to the users, just use the common jargon, field or column. They will be calling whatever they want. You should know what they are talking from the context, right? Right? But these guys, even developers sometimes in that field in the applet change it. But you should know what they're really trying to say. They're trying to say change the control. Okay? So even among developers sometimes they use this terminology from the real world, from the outside world, from the usual software world. But in the SQL world, from a purist standpoint, this is the correct terminology. Applet has controls, and field is reserved for components of business components, and column is reserved for table. We don't call these things at column. We don't call controls at column. But in the real world, users will be interacting with users. They'll be calling it with funky names. They might be calling it interchangeably. You should know what they are talking, and you should understand them. It is usually very clear from the context which one they are referring to. Okay. Now we know the SQL GUI. We expect to see the definitions for my opportunity somewhere, right? This view should be having how many applets?
3.
No, 2, right? So this view should be having 2 applets, right? Similarly, this view should be having how many applets? 4. There are 4 applets in the GUI. That means in the definition also, this view should be having 4 applets. Is it right? And Hafiz, do you know that sometimes the name of the views are same in the GUI? And you can find the technical name behind the scenes, the correct name of the view behind the scenes. We'll find that where that is, and because that is a technical word, which is actually the thing which will be unique for every view in SQL. Just to let you know what I'm talking about again, here we have this about view, right? It tells you what is the exact technical name behind the scenes for this particular screen. What is the name of the screen in the GUI? What is the name of the screen in the GUI?
Activities.
No, in the GUI first. Activities.
Oh.
Right, John? What is the technical name behind the scenes?
Screen.
No, what is written?
Oh, pharma activity screen.
Yeah, can you please say it again?
Pharma activity screen.
What is business object written here?
Pharma account call.
What is the view written here?
Pharma account call detail view.
Okay, so these are the internal technical names of these objects. Okay, we will see where these are. We'll check out their definitions and we'll see that yes, the SQL definition is exactly showing what it is behind the scenes, and then we'll be able to map one by one. Okay. Other things, let's go over other things also one by one. This is the internal unique name, pharma activity screen. This is the business object. Well, business object, I always say ignore it for the timing. It is kind of you wouldn't need to know a lot about it to configure the things. It is for integration and all those. It is really a different concept altogether. But business component is very important. Okay, but we'll come to that. View, it is telling you the name of the internal unique name of the view. What is the name of the view here, John? In the GUI, what is the name of the GUI? In the GUI, name the view in the GUI.
Pharma accounts call detail view.
That is not the GUI name. That is the unique name inside. This is the name. Account call detail, right? Right, Priya? In the GUI, the name is account call detail. Very user-friendly name. What is the behind the scene? The name is pharma account call detail view. In the real world, in the sense when you go to an implement, this is SQL vanilla. Out of the box, the way SQL comes out. Companies will be having configured SQL, right? Or you'll be configuring for them, and you will see the names might be even more funky than this. Okay, there will be pharma account call detail view, read only, managers view, Sean's request view, something like that. Anything. There could be really personalized views for everybody. They avoid it, but there are 1 out of 10 probably you can see one. Pretty less, but there are some customized views. Not some, like definitely there are some funky views for managers and read only and all that stuff. Like these very personalized views like Sean's views, things like that. They are also there. Coming back, but the view name that he will see in the GUI might be same, but behind the scenes they have to have a different name for every view. Is it right? We know that already, right? Right, Hafiz? Okay. These are the applets. Right? Here we have 4 applets. SQL 6 and SQL 7, they organize the applets in a different way, but you will be able to figure it out. The name of the applets, the number of the applets, if it is 4, there will be 4 things written here in one way or the other. Okay? Here it is saying this is the name of the applet, internal name of the applet. The other advantage of this thing is, let's say you are a BA. User says, I'm facing a problem here on account call detail view. So looking at the GUI, he's giving you the name, but you know that this name could be in the GUI, this name could be shared by other views as well. So you don't know which exact view is he talking about. So you ask him to go to about view and ask him to give you this name. That way you would know the exact thing that he's talking about, right? Here, similarly the applet. So you can fetch this applet in the what is the name of the applet in the GUI? Account call. Okay. Is this the name of this applet or this is the name of this applet in the GUI? John. Account call is the name of this applet or this applet? Upper applet or the bottom applet? So he is saying that account call is the technical name is pharma account call form applet, right? Even he has partitioned it the same way, just to make you understand this thing, right? Second one is call products detail. The name is product pharma call products detailed list, right? The sector 5 and 6, pharma attendee call list applet. Is it right? That these are the internal technical names. You go there and make a search for this, you get only one applet. Making sense for most of what? Pharma activity list applet without buttons. See this funky name? Even vanilla has some funky names. Okay, so you can go behind the scenes and get this applet definition and see how it is, and then you can manipulate it. Not you, I mean configurator. Okay, right? Configurators can manipulate it. When you make a design and suggest changes like remove this new button from here, he goes behind the scenes, goes to this applet, removes this new button, and it will be removed from the front end outside.